Hey guys, how's it going? It's Rob Sutton, and today we're talking about, helmets. And the Enduro helmets that you can actually get one of these straws through. So let's get started. Alright guys, all kidding aside, we are talking about vented full face helmets today and where we see these going in the future and whether you're using one right now. But before we get started, I want to tell you a story. So I was at my local trail, you know the one that you just do a quick couple loops in your home before dinner. It's just a couple miles from the house and you can just hit it and get back. They're normally really beginner friendly and you can just have some fun, get some miles in and get back home. So out I was with a couple friends of mine and we were doing what was called South Loop, which comes on the side of a lake here in Georgia. I was coming down the backside, pushing it a little bit hard, and the front end of the tire just washed out. Normally that wouldn't be anything that was a big deal. You'd only just kind of dirt roll, get back up, get back on the bike and continue riding. But this one was a little bit different. It was a freak accident. My face took the tree on full tilt before I even hit the ground. Now, lucky for my helmet, but bad for my face, the helmet didn't get touched at all. I ended up with splinters from the bottom of my ear down to the bottom of my neck, covering my entire side of the face. I had a full cut coming down my jawline inside my gum, and I had nerve damage from one of the initial hits on my jaw that spread nerve damage all the way around my jaw that still has numb spots today. So there I was at the trail that I rarely wreck at that should have been easy, and a freak accident happened where a full face helmet would have saved my face because the half shell definitely did not. Fast forward a couple months and I was ready to get married at the time, and we finally found one vented full face that my wife made me wear before the wedding so I wouldn't smash my face up again for pictures. It was pretty funny to be the only guy on cross-country trails wearing a full face helmet because your fiance said to. But what made me think of this is we just got this Mainline in for review. I've also looked at the Met Parachute in the past too, and every single manufacturer of helmets right now has their version of an Enduro full face. What it basically is a full face helmet that uses a lot of the technology that we find in half shells, including venting, MIPS, and other technologies, adapted to a full face helmet so that you can get adequate venting, safety, and adequate heat dissipation out of a full face helmet. So why did they do this? When the Enduro racing season started, they mandated that you had to wear your full face helmet on the climbs as well as the descents. So it had to act like more of a half shell because you needed to not die coming up those hills wearing a motocross style full face helmet like we're used to seeing in dedicated DH. So now we see everything from vented full faces that can have the chin removed to be convertible, all the way to really vented full face helmets that are good for long rides. So it got me thinking, cyclists have been really hesitant when it comes to protection equipment. Don't even get me started on roadies. I still see some of those guys out there fully matching kits and bikes with no helmets during rush hour on a busy street. My personal opinion is, if you're not wearing a helmet, you have nothing to protect. So when it comes to other things like knee pads or other protective gear, even just as small as baggies back in the day, they have been really hesitant to adopt those kind of items in their daily riding. Now fast forward today, almost everyone's wearing baggies and you see knee pads all over the place, but it really took some time for people to adopt those on. Now, are we going to see that with the vented full face helmet? Are we going to see that around your local mountain biking trail that doesn't require that really DH burly feel, but people actually want to protect their face because helmets have gotten more ventilated and more comfortable? So here's my personal opinion on it. One, I do think we are going to see more of them. I don't think it's going to get adopted as fast as knee pads or baggies or some of these other things did in mountain biking. But these helmets are a lot more comfortable than they used to be, and they're a lot better in hotter conditions. I also see these being very much used when it comes to fall, winter, and spring riding, and these rides that have really long climbs or really long descents like you would find in Enduro style riding. I've even gotten to the point now where I like to ride with a vented full face helmet in little areas that have jumps and stuff that I normally wouldn't wear one, just because they do vent better and are more comfortable. So do I think these are going to take over your local trailhead like some other protection equipment has? Probably not, but I do think we're going to see the percentage slowly rise and probably plateau at some point in time where you might see a certain percentage of riders with one and some without. I do think you find anyone who has had some kind of major head trauma to really want to adopt these because they can't get hit again. So guys, I want to hear what you think. Have you ever had a head trauma that would have been saved by a full face if you had one? Are you wearing one now or looking at purchasing one in the future? Or is this something that you see just dying off or actually climbing as time goes on like the other protection equipment we've seen in the past? So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching. Until then, on to the next one. Thanks guys, see ya.